널 기다렸어.
We're back here at the StarCraft 2 Star League, Season 2 of 2016. It's me, Valdez with Wolf. We've been casting all day since 1 p.m. It is now 8:45, so
yeah,
going on a bit of a marathon run.
Keeping it chill. So the next two matches are going to be Trap versus soO, and then soO versus TY. If soO loses either of the games, the group ends, and then even if he wins both, he has to defeat Bomber. And if he does that, then he's out. So soO has to win 3 games in a row, and that's basically what we're here to watch. If he loses any of the 3, then Bomber advances, and that's all that's left in the group. So he's on his last life. Bomber in the first game just gets to watch the show. If soO loses to Trap, then it's all over. And then he's going to be like, okay, well, this gets a little bit more stressful. Maybe I have to play a game. And then he has to beat TY, and he hasn't beaten a single Terran today. And if he is able to miraculously defeat TY, then Bomber's probably like, oh my god, he beat TY. Like, he probably started playing macro games.
Yeah. Stop messing around.
Well, this is like a waiting game for Bomber right now. As you guys can see, TY and Cure have both advanced, and Trap and Hush are both out 2 and 6 and 1 and 8, respectively.
So I'm not 100% sure, but wouldn't Cure have to play an extra game? Because if like Bomber has to play against soO, right? And if he wins, it'll be 6 and 4. So Cure would have to play an extra game to make sure he's, 7 and 3. But if they tie, Bomber's game, his last game is on his away map. So wouldn't they have the same away maps? Am I missing something here? Is there like a third tiebreaker that puts Cure ahead automatically? Because we may have to do a bunch more of these games.
Actually, you might be right.
But at the same time, I look behind me and there's no one in the booth.
Well, he could just be watching in the crowd or something. That's what I'd be doing. Well, this has been a pretty weak performance from Trap. His loss in the last game versus TY solidifies him not getting out of the group. He looks pretty upset. And this could be, yet again, one of those games where we see a pretty weird build. The map is going to be Dust Tower, so we're not playing on Endion or anything like that. So it's definitely going to be, I guess, a game that will look at least more normal. And then soO. He needs to beat Trap, TY, and Bomber. I said earlier, like, he's out, right? And I'm like, well, if he wins 4 games in a row, he gets out. And he has to do it 3 in a row.
Yeah, so there you go. soO, he's definitely favored against Trap here, even though he hasn't been having the best games so far. But we're going to jump into the game in just a second. This is Trap's map pick.
Both these players look so down, man. soO should look at least a little bit happier. He still has an opportunity to get out. It's not going to be easy. He will have to defeat, basically 3 godlike players in Trap, TY, and Bomber, but he has a chance.
Well, guys, let's jump into the game right now. And up here in the top right of Dust Towers, the Protoss player, it is Trap from the generic Green Wings.
And down here in the blue, the Zerg player, the only one in the group is soO. 3 games in a row he has to win to get out of this group. And his first one is against Trap. If I were Trap, I would definitely 2-gate proxy here, but that's just my personal choice.
Yeah. You have your right to make your own decisions, Wolf.
I do.
So
no one can tell me what to do.
And he's going to go for Nexus first. It is Dusk Towers, so you get that free base in the back door.
Wow, is he going to make a Forge? That'd be really funny. Aww. Or it looks like this game might just be a little bit less fun than the last one. Oh. Well, we'll see what he does. He's probably just going to play standard. His teammate already did advance, so at least he's got that consolation in this. They went, 1-1 against each other at the beginning. They didn't end up doing any better after that. Gateway goes down. Yet again, actually, I feel like this is deja vu. Last time they played each other on this map, he also didn't block the hatch.
Yeah, and they were in the same spots
Yeah,
too.
it's like
and
really
he also
funny.
went for 2 gate.
I'm like, I've seen this game already before. I literally saw it
Are
earlier
you guys
today.
sure this isn't a replay? Like trying to add in extra games?
See that thing that says Challenge Group A Set 26 Dust Towers? Pretty sure that covers the replay bar. Pretty sure this is legitimately a replay now. I'm just not funny, man. I'm like that.
Run out of juice. We got to charge you up. Got to go home and sleep.
Yeah. That'd be a nice slumber. Now, we'll see if soO's going to sleep easy tonight. As this is going to be a marathon of best of ones. He basically has to nearly all kill a top pro league team. None of these players are on the same team, but it's like, imagine if there was an all-star team with Trap, Bomber, and TY, and soO had to all kill those 3 players. You know, that's basically what he has to do. And they've been watching him play all night, and I guarantee you, like, when he plays Bomber again, Bomber's just going to, like, make, like, 4 bunkers at the top of his ramp and, like, make, like, 5 turrets. Like, he's not even going to make a single Marine. He's going to, like, 4 bunkers at the front and, like, 5 turrets on the edge of his base. It's like, try to deny this to me. So, like, goes 1 base mutas. He's like, that's weird. Okay, well, we do have Overlord speed on the way. It's going to finish up pretty soon. We'll just give soO a little bit more information about what's about to come his way.
He's been pretty consistent about that on every map that he's played. It didn't really matter. It wasn't map-based. It's just part of his play now. He's taken a page out of Dark's book, or as I like to say before, a book out of Dark.
Yeah, he's taking a book out of Dark. Dark no longer knows how to make Overlord speed. It's been taken from him.
Takes it from his brain.
Taken from his archives.
Yeah. Coming in here, he sees the Phoenix and should know exactly what's going on once he sees that Phoenix.
This is like the Overlord paradox, you know, when you... So you get Overlord speed to scout the Phoenixes are coming to kill you. And if you didn't have speed, you would... Like, probably, you know, might die before you knew that you were going to die, but you die pretty much no matter what. Even after you have Overlord speed, like the Overlord at top right, he's going to die. It's just a sad thing when you think about it. The Overlord that goes to check for Phoenixes, it's like, I don't know.
You're getting really emotional about these Overlords, man.
I'm trying to think of another analogy, but I can't.
It's all right. Here
It's all
come
right.
the Adepts.
Let's see how many drones die here. They commit to the shade.
That's a really big pull. You might want to send those back.
That's actually really funny because the drones that popped out as well, he got 2 kills. Now he's going to come over here. This
really
is
nice shade and a full surround, but it's already done a lot of damage. 6 probe kills.
Oh my god, he's getting supply block. This could actually just be it of this group, man, if he's playing like this. This is not game-ending damage, but it's excessive. Okay.
This is not supposed to happen.
Those 2 Overlords that are about to pop out, he needs more than that, actually. I guess not if he loses drones. That might free up some supply. 10 drones in total going down.
Still at 55 drones with a 4th base on the way. Again, just the super greedy soO that he played against Trap the last time. Just doing nothing but building drones and bases.
If you guys remember how that game ended, too, it was a super long game with carriers that couldn't make interceptors, and it was like kind of insane where we got to in that game at the end of it. But we see a little bit more drone harass here. Trap doing a lot of work. Spore's about to finish. This game looks almost exactly the same as the last, minus the Overlord kills. It's like he did a lot of damage with his Phoenixes, but soO made a lot of extra drones and just kept droning because he knew there was no ground threat, so it was kind of like, it's okay that I'm losing these drones. Hydra's Den coming up.
So he gets a nice scout with these Lings, too. He gets to go across the map, see that there is no 4th base on the way, and should be pretty comfortable with that. Just needs to make some units, just in case. Do you have charge on the way very fast?
+1 for Hydras. No Baneling Nest. Wonder if I'll see Lurkers this game. No, there it is. First time. First time this entire group. It's morphing.
Yeah.
soO gonna get a scout off here. Not much to see. But this is an interesting sort of style Trap's going with charge +1, Getting some Immortals out. He might actually try to attack before the Lurkers are ready. Unlikely, though. He'll probably just do what every pro does and mass Immortals off 2 Robos. A bunch of Charged Zealots. Use hold position.
Yep,
there's a second Robo.
That's kind of the way things are.
That is the way things are. That is absolutely the way things are.
Yeah.
Some guys like on Reddit, he's like, I don't like how it is with the 2. I'm like, well, it's just how it is, though.
That's just the way things are, man. And here we go. Coming into the back for Adepts. Some Hydras are here, but... Okay, the Lings come in. And they do push it back. Templar Archives on the way. Storm's going to be quite nice against the Lurkers, the Hydras.
That's a really cool pylon there, by the way. Does get scouted. Pylons can no longer warp, and this has been for a long time. They can no longer warp onto the high ground, but they can still warp from high to low. So he could have warped in like DTs or Zealots there later. Also gives him a good idea of the base of saturation. So it's obviously cleared now because an Overseer comes and spots it, but if he doesn't know it's there, it's really quite powerful for some very direct harass. All right, more Phoenix is coming in here trying to grab some kills. Storm and +2 is on the way. As 8 Lurkers more, +1 for them is almost ready. The Spire is on the way as well. Wow, that's 9 kills.
Really ridiculous micro here from Trap. So looks like he will lose 1 Phoenix, but he gets 11 drone kills.
Could have gotten more, but I guess the loss of that 1 Phoenix kind of threw him off. He was almost out of energy. Well, let's see if he can defend this attack. Storm is not ready. He doesn't have that many Immortals yet. He sees it. He's like, oh my god, that's a lot of Lurkers. The key is to make them siege up before they get to the 3rd base. Or really the 4th base, but in this case he doesn't have one quite yet, which is somewhat worrisome. But all right, he needs to force these to go ahead and burrow. Oh man, soO doesn't care. He's not going to walk all the way to exactly where he wants to be. Only one forced burrow here, and he's already basically in range of the 4th base. Can actually stagger them up little by little. Gonna walk away instead, a bit nervous.
Just takes out a pylon and backs off, says that's enough damage for me. Didn't want to overstay his welcome. Ooh, nice move there, actually. Getting a lot of the hits onto the ground units and then just picking up.
3 mutas. That looks like it's going to be for Warp Prism defense alone, I'd say. 90 drones as well for soO. His economy is out of control. That will start to cut into his army size a little bit later on, so we'll probably consider making a bunch of spores or spines with those, but for the time being, he's building a bank. He already has a massive one, and it's just going to get bigger. Fleet Beacon on the way. Continual Immortal production. 2nd Stargate. And the Immortal count is starting to get quite high. I mean, he could start to challenge some of these bases, some of these Lurker armies with an Immortal count this high. And he's even going to get this Extractor, I'd say, and he's got Storms on the high ground, so he needs to be very careful about how he approaches this.
He was thinking about chasing after those High Templar, but just way too many over there. You don't want to get your stuff stormed. Here are the 3 mutas. They were for the Warp Prism, but the Warp Prism was taken down, so he's just going to try to find some harass damage. As long as he doesn't attack the cannons, he should be good.
Well, that was just kind of weird.
Not doing much.
It turns out the 10-minute 15 3-muta attack is not that strong. We're going to see an engage here. He's got a lot of Storms available. The Lurkers are pre-split. A lot of these Lurkers about to finish as well. Once they're done, it's going to be really, really helpful in the defense. There's so many morals. That hatch is definitely a goner, I'd say. Down it goes.
Down it goes. And just more importantly, the lifts on the Lurkers as he came in. He got his stuff into position without taking much damage at all. And from there just weren't enough Lurkers, and they were all split up, as you were saying. So soO losing his 5th base. Now they're on equal bases. soO's got some nice tech on the way. He does have Hive, and he is making the Spire, or Greater Spire, rather. But already Tempest on the way.
Well, all he needs is an Ultralisk Cavern, an Infestation Pit, a few Infestors, and like about 500 more gas, and we'll be basically where we were before. Oh, also some Void Rays. This is starting to look very familiar, obviously, as we get closer to the late game. Different ways of getting there. All right, Storm's going down, hitting, I think, about 4 Lurkers there. And these Corruptors going up to try to deal with the Phoenixes. There's not a whole lot of anti-air besides them on the ground. He will actually clean these Phoenixes up. 3 Sentries and Storm. That's the only way to deal with those. Of course, without the Phoenixes. And that'll make, I think that gives soO this kind of feeling of, okay, we're not going Ultras. We're not going to make that cavern. We have Broodlords. We are in good shape for the time being. There's not a lot of anti-air here. There's no Void Rays. He has a ton of bank, almost too much. Like he has, not that he almost has too much bank, he's like maxed out. He doesn't have enough, he can't spend all of his money. He needs to throw some units away. Or perhaps drones or make like a ton of spine crawlers and spores. Spores actually won him that previous game.
Yeah.
Funny as it
At
is.
the top left base, he made about 35, some odd number like that. And he's got a nice small group of Tempests now. He's got 4. Gonna do a number against these Broodlords in the sky, especially because there's only one Corruptor. There's one Corruptor in the sky. You need more to deal with what's in the air. And he hasn't really committed to any of that. I'm not sure if he even knows about these Tempests.
Well, one of the concerns I had from soO in the previous match where this composition was his enemy was that he just simply neglected to build Vipers. And that's going to be a big problem going forward. This amount of Hydras isn't close enough, or it isn't even close to enough. Fumbling over my words here, and he has only 2 Overseers. Something else that might become a problem. He loses this base, and this could be, a trap could come back in this game. This base up here, found and killed, I'd say. Look, 20 health left, a few more swipes. Oh, nice cancel. Want to lose the drone.
And Trap is readying an attack now. He doesn't want to give soO all that much time. But then, as I say that, he does. Backs off just a bit. Wants some Void Rays in the mix. I think he knows that there's going to be a large number of Corruptors by the time he does attack. So, pretty smart, in fact.
Another worrying thing about this game is that there's +1 already for the Void Rays. +1 for soO's units isn't even done. Usually the Zerg has like much higher upgrades. He just had his Spire for a while. In this game, not so much. All right, he just needs to get vision for these Tempests. He's going to start shelling away at these Broodlords. Could even kill the Overseers. soO is just avoiding this army, though. All right, these ults are going to force another cancel on this base. There's a tag. He could start shelling away. No cancel this time. And the Zealots are just going to keep going. Oh, look at this. Starting to do a lot of damage to these Broodlords. He's like, wow, you still don't have any Vipers. Not a single one.
And he really needs them. This isn't going to be enough, I feel, to deal with this Protoss army.
These Hydras are worthless without Vipers.
All the Broodlords are going down. Okay, here come the Corruptors forward, but there's Void Rays in the mix now. Even Storm is going to be decent.
Even Archons are going to do fine against this if they auto-attack once or twice. This is just an inferior composition from soO, and he's going to replace his dead supply with Corruptors. Does he think he's playing Wings of Liberty? He wasn't even, like, he barely even played Wings of Liberty when he first joined Kespa, Kespa joined StarCraft 2. Like, he needs Vipers to deal with this, I'd say. Like, how is he going to deal with this without him? He needs to pull these units into Corruptors and Hydras.
That was part of the turning point in the game that they played the last time. The Vipers did so well against the air army.
And he was so reluctant to build them even in that game, even though it basically won him the game.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, my
Storm's raining down on everything, and Trap is going to demolish this Zerg army. Not even close.
He does lose his mothership, but that's easily replaced. He's already working on rebuilding one. More and more Tempests on the way. Fighting underneath these Storms and Void Rays. Pretty disastrous. Now, soO has, I'm going to check how much larvae he has. He has 31. He's trying to decide what to make. Is he going to make mutas again? He is! 27.
Oh, boy. I was about to say not yet.
I don't think this works this time.
Look at how many Archons are on the ground, and even just Tempests in the sky. Tempests aren't that great against them, but there are so many of them.
And he predicts it as well.
Oh, that's so cool.
3 Phoenixes already on the way at a time. He predicted it. We predicted it too. I mean...
Yeah, Trap deserves to win this game. I mean, soO just hasn't come with his best game tonight, and Trap, he's playing a good game. He's playing a solid game
This is very different from the last game as well. This time it's like tons of anti-air, not just a few carriers. All right, here we go. There are some Corruptors in this army. There's not much ground army, though. The Archons, if they get underneath this, could do some serious work. Looks like he's backing off.
And oh man, so many of the mutas going down to the splash damage. No storms, but it doesn't matter. All the Archons on the ground take out all the mutas in the sky.
And he's not even killing the Corruptors. It doesn't matter. The Queens were kind of bugging out the Archons, and he still wrecked those Mutalists. And yeah, he's killing some Tempests here, but he doesn't have gas to make Broodlords anymore. It's like, oh, okay, I finally killed the Tempest. I can use Broods.
His gas is all gone. He spent it all on the mutas.
So what did he do last game? He made a ton of lings and tried to base trade. This isn't going to work this time. There's too much.
It was a much later game too. He was more mined out.
This is just not going to work out this time.
He denied the 5th base multiple times.
I think that's it, man. Looks like Bomber's gonna advance.
It's looking like it. Trap.
I even just heard the Korean commentators say like, "Oh, what a waste." That's how I feel too. Well, there you go. I mean, that is it. Trap is gonna defeat soO. GG. That means Bomber will advance and soO will not. And we have our 3 players from Group A.
There you go. So soO, with that loss, does deny himself the chance, and Bomber was watching that ever so closely and is very happy with the win for Trap, obviously. So we do have 3 Terrans from the group all getting out. No Protoss, no Zerg. The 3 Terrans we had at the beginning are all going through.
I want to look at exactly what the scores are just to make sure Bomber doesn't have to play against Cure or anything like that to decide, or play against soO to decide whether or not he passes Cure. Cure advanced with a 6-3. Bomber is at 5-2.
Bomber's at 5-4 right now.
Oh, 5-4. Okay, that's right. So, yeah, I don't think there's any way he can pass Cure. So I think that he gets out in third.
If Cure had lost to TY and Bomber beat soO, then they'd both be 3-4 with 3 away wins. But there must be that third tiebreaker that I don't know about. That's because I think I got in my ear that the PD said it was all over.
Yeah,
but I'm not. Yeah, it is. It is all over.
Yeah, so it's first place is TY, second place is Cure, and Bomber is third. It's set. None of the other matches actually are required anymore because Trap actually beat soO. I'm just going to complete my sheet here, even though it doesn't matter. There we go. So 30 matches not required. TY, Cure, and Bomber will advance in first, second, and third, respectively. soO, Trap, and Hush go home empty-handed. And that's pretty rough for soO. And that's no more Star League till next year.
Yeah. And I think part of the reason why we didn't play those extra games is because there must not be seeding for first, second, and third ranking.
Yeah,
I think it's possible, that they just all 3 get through the same.
I guess that's possible. I really hope that's not the case, but I guess it's possible.
TY shouldn't be ranked on the same level as Bomber, to be honest.
No, not today.
Just based off their performances tonight, but I guess we'll